What is polyamory? Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality. I'm also a relationship coach, and you can find me at eroscoaching.com. So polyamory has its roots in Latin, which is amory, which means love, and poly means many. So many loves. So this is when there are people who have more than one intimate love. And by polyamory, we don't just mean like love in terms of like the love that you have for your friends or your parents. Polyamory means intimate, sexual, romantic love that they have with the person. So more than one person. And the concept is not so difficult to understand when we realize how love and marriage has evolved over history. And there was a time in history where love marriages were unheard of, and arranged marriages was the norm. And in fact, people who married for love were basically rejected by society and treated as weird. There was also a time, even earlier in Greek times, where the love that you have for your spouse, your wife, is considered like weird. And then the love that you have for your brother, your friend, with another man is considered pure true love because you cannot procreate. And so the way society thinks of love and sex has changed over time. So with polyamory, it's easier to understand it when you understand that we can love many people in different ways. For instance, I am able to love many of my friends, and the quality of the love that I have for my friends would be different for each person depending on who they are, depending on the history that I had with this person, the chemistry, and so on and so forth. And it would be hard for me to choose, for instance, between the love that I have for my father or my mother, because it's so deep and it's so different. And so with polyamory, it's the same. These people feel that love is love. Why do I have to choose the love and the depth and the width of the love? Like, I want to be with both people, and both people makes me happy. And polyamory doesn't just mean like two people, like I'm in love with two people. Polyamory can also mean more than two, as long as it's more than one. And say if you are in a polyamorous relationship with someone, the other person may not be in love with another person, and so that person may not be in relationship with another person just because you are, for instance. And so don't think of that. So there's a lot of confusion with polyamory, with open relationships, because I actually see open relationships as the kind of like mothership term, which is like the bigger term, and underneath it is polyamory. So polyamory is a form of open relationship. So when people say I'm in an open relationship, I ask them like, what kind of open relationship? Like, what are the boundaries of your relationships? And then when I ask them further, then I find out that they are actually in a polyamorous relationship. So that's completely normal and common for that. So when they say open, don't assume that it's open as in completely open with no boundaries. Usually there are some boundaries, whatever the boundaries are. Open relationships can mean don't ask, don't tell kind of policy. When you travel, yeah, you can hook up with whoever you want. It can also be it's okay to have a one-night stand. It's not okay to have an emotional affair. Open relationship can mean it's okay for you to have multiple lovers, but don't bring them home, or keep it lighthearted. So polyamorous means much deeper than that. It's an ongoing relationship, and often that is a primary relationship, and then there's a secondary relationship. Polyamorous relationship don't work well when the relationship already has problems, when it's already failing, when it's not strong, and they are looking externally for some kind of spice, which is okay if you're in a strong relationship. But when you're looking for spice, like what I mentioned, secondary relationship, it can actually add something to your life, and then you bring that energy back to the relationship, and you still treat your relationship as the most important, as you know. And there are people who say, I don't rank which is more important, and that's fine. So that this is actually quite dynamic and quite different depending on the person. So I'm just sharing with you in general what the concept is about. And I actually have another video on open relationships. And you'll be surprised that actually this is happening and does happen in Asian culture and Asian society. Just like anything, you don't know because you don't talk to people, or people don't want to talk to you about it. This involves our personal lives, and so lots of people want to keep that private. So this is Martha of Arrows Coaching, and I do want to share that recently I reviewed this book called Designer Relationships, and it actually talks about how it's up to us to decide the kind of relationship that we want. There's also another book called Opening Up and Mating in Captivity that you may want to check it out. And then there's also, of course, the very famous Ethical Slut. So I'm mentioning a few books and resources that you can check out if you are interested to find out more about open relationships and or polyamorous relationships. So I'm signing off. You can post your comments below, and you can always ask me your questions there. You can also email me at ask@arrowscoaching.com.